The first time I made chicken soup in an Instant Pot, it felt like cheating. Like I'd found a loophole in the system, a shortcut in the culinary space-time continuum, if you will. Well, that was years ago, and to this day, the Instant Pot is still my preferred method when I want quick and easy chicken soup. After watching today's video, it might just be yours too. Hello and welcome to I Want to Cook. My name is Chef Matt and this channel is all about helping you be a better cook no matter your skill level. And today we are not just making chicken soup, we are making the easiest chicken soup, and that's because we are using the help of an Instant Pot. Now, it doesn't have to be an Instant Pot, it can be any electric pressure cooker. That's just the brand that I have. Now, why would you want to use one of these for making soup? Well, several reasons, but first of all, just because it's so easy. Now, chicken soup really isn't that hard to make on the stove, but it takes time, it takes some commitment, you kind of have to stay there, you have to skim off that nasty stuff that comes up to the top. But you don't have to do any of that with the Instant Pot. Literally, we just dump in some ingredients, press a button, walk away, and next thing you know, you have soup. Now, does it save time to make chicken soup in an Instant Pot? Well, yes and no. From start to finish, it can be faster. I call this process fast-ish versus the 2+ hours that it takes to make chicken soup on the stove. We do have to wait for this to come up to pressure. We do have to wait for the valve to come down, and that can take an hour and a half, 2 hours, kind of depending on your system. But again, the beautiful thing is that once you dump everything in and press the button, you don't have to worry about it. You can walk away and do other things. Now, to make chicken soup, of course, you need chicken, and really you can use any cut of chicken you like, but what I recommend is boneless, skinless chicken thighs. And I actually did a whole video on why you should be using chicken thighs versus chicken breast, and I'll link to that in the description below. But I like using boneless, skinless chicken thighs because it gives a nice meatiness to the broth. It gives a really nice texture, and in general, chicken thighs like these tend to be less expensive than chicken breast. And I also like to use skinless because if you do have a lot of skin in the broth, that tends to make it, well, really kind of fatty, and not everybody wants that. But of course, use whatever cut of meat you like. So here's how to put it together, and actually the prep work for this really is the hardest part. Now, I'm using 5 boneless, skinless chicken thighs here. I'd say 4 or 5 is probably good for this recipe, but I'm gonna want this to be on kind of the meatier, more unctuous side. So I'm going 5, and this is gonna give us a really nice, thick broth. I'm also using our old friends carrots, onions, and celery, and if you watched my video on mirepoix, you'll know that's what that is. So we'll just dump these right in here, just like that. And then as far as the aromatics are concerned, I'm going pretty simple. I'm doing 2 cloves of garlic, some salt, some whole peppercorn, and a couple of these bay leaves. And we'll just dump this all right in. And finally, good soup begins with good water. So I'm using some purified water here that I got from my fridge, and we will just dump this in. Now, the key to this is that you don't want to overfill it. So a lot of these have like a max line. I like to go about half full, maybe 3/4 of the way full. And this is a 6-quart Instant Pot in case you're wondering. So I'm just filling it here. That's about to the 9-cup line, and that's gonna make a really nice chicken soup. Give this a nice stir here. Put the lid on, press a button, and walk away. My Instant Pot is a little bit older. I think this is at least 6 or 7 years old, and it's got a lot of use. But what I like to do for this is I use 25 minutes, high pressure, and then I just do a natural pressure release where we let the pin drop. But that's it, my friends. That's all you have to do. So we are gonna let this cook. I'll show you the result. And in the meantime, you can go do anything else you want. I think I'm gonna take Bronco for a walk here because that's what he loves to do. And we are back. The pin just dropped on this, meaning the natural pressure release has released, and it was about an hour and a half from start to finish to make this soup. So let's see what it looks like. My friends, I wish you could smell this. This smells so good. Just that classic chicken soup. Let's give it a try. Okay, let's ladle some of this up here, and be sure to take those bay leaves out if you do use those. This beautiful chicken has just turned into these wonderful succulent chunks. Let me show you this. Look at that chicken there. It's just shredded and beautiful. Isn't that great? I chopped up a little bit of fresh parsley. I like to put this just on top. Of course, you can garnish however you wish. You could even use some cilantro, a little squeeze of lime, however you like it. Bon appetit. That is fantastic. You would think that I spent hours over the stove making this, but I didn't. I let this electric pressure cooker do all the cooking while I had my time to go do other things. Whether you're making chicken soup in an Instant Pot or on the stove, if you want chicken noodle soup, you do want to cook those noodles separately because the noodles otherwise would absorb the liquid in the soup, and you don't want to do that. Now, in addition to getting a great soup out of this, keep in mind you've also got some great broth. So, you can use this broth in a number of ways. I like to use broth when I'm making rice, for example. Another great thing you can do with broth is you can put it in ice cube trays, just kind of individually, and put it in the freezer. And that way you always have broth on hand. And these are ideal if you only use broth in small amounts. So there you go. There's how to make Instant Pot chicken soup. I do hope you give this a try. It really could not be easier, and it's great to be able to make chicken soup, well, in an instant. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you are new to the channel, welcome. Welcome to my kitchen. I am so glad that you are here. Until next time, I hope you want to cook.